money, right? Their almighty dollar comes first. You know, that's pretty sad. You can't drink oil to live. You know, you can't eat money to live. Without water, we can't live. Without animals and that, we can't live. What are we gonna eat? You know, like, especially like us native people, we're used to wild meat. You know, we live on wild meat all our lives. You know, we depended on fish and moose and all that. Now we can't even eat fish. When one eat fish, gotta buy canned salmon or go store and buy some, right? It's the only way, you know. It's pretty sad.
But here we're living in a G8 country, fully developed, one of the most advanced countries as far as quality of life, and as Indigenous people, we're still fighting for our existence.
Most Canadians, I think, have been bamboozled by the claim that we're Canada, we have more water than anywhere in the world. And that really isn't true. The true measure of sustainable water that's available for use is what runs off the land. When you look at annual runoff, we have almost exactly the same amount of sustainable water as the US or as China, both of which are being held up as countries that don't have enough water. We have about 50% less water than the Soviet Union and 100% less water than Brazil does. So we shouldn't be deluded by the fact that there's lots of lakes out on the landscape that have water in them. What you want to look at is the percent of water that's renewed each year. And as a rule of thumb, for a good part of Canada, it's 1%. And that's what we have to work with.
They reclaim the land, they said, but there's nothing there that they reclaim. I can't see anything that, I mean, they got a little bit, they got some trees from Germany, and it's not local trees what we used to have. Now you go to Albion Sands and down all the other plants, like you say, it looks like a desert. And you're right. There's not even a one stick standing up. That's all you see is sand as far as your eyes could see. They even had a small tornado there last year. Yeah. I know we've never seen anything like that in our lives, and I mean, I'll be 68 years old here. I've never seen anything like it, you know. So there is a big change. There's definitely a big change.
It was like a competition to see how big everything could get, from the highways to the strip malls to the giant TV sets, from the Moabs to the drag lines, monster trucks and SUVs, and the massive roaring chainsaws that cut down all the trees. That's how it was at the end of the age of oil.
Well, we know where the oil's being sent here to the United States, and we're pretty much feeding the Gulf War of what's happening in the Middle East throughout whatever the United States is doing. And the way the Canadian government right now is working with the US government, they're pretty much hand in hand right now, and the province of Alberta is right in there like a wet sock.
There's a lot of awareness being generated in the United States by environmental organizations down there to Americans generally, because the primary investor in the oil sands right now is more than 50% coming from the United States. So they raise awareness to Americans generally, that by virtue of looking at the oil sands as their silver bullet to their energy crisis that they're always in, is essentially having very devastating effects on our people as indigenous people, and in worst case scenarios, it's leading to premature deaths of our people.
I would like to let them know the way we're being treated here. We're not treated like humans. We're nothing because the money comes first. Our lives don't mean anything to them, to the oil companies. At the cost of our lives, they're getting money. As long as they get their money, they don't care how many of us they kill off. That's the way I feel.
There's hope in the young people. Yeah, they are getting concerned and stuff like that. Some of them don't even want to go work in the oil sands because of the health concerns that they have.
I'm scared, like, for my grandchildren. Or, like, are they going to even have a place to stay when they grow up, you know? I have 3 grandchildren now. And their children. There'll be nothing here for them. It's very alarming. The government just don't really give a shit about us, you know?